Good afternoon. I'm Dara Bunjon. I am the food enthusiast here at J Moore Living. I'm a food writer, food stylist, PR maven, and a frustrated baker. Those of you joining us live, feel free to ask any questions or comments for my guest or myself in the comment box, and I will check from time to time. You'll see me turn my head. A few words from J Moore Living. Summer is heating up and J Moore is here to help. Plan your trip with J Moore's special Maryland travel section, highlighting local attractions, events, and itineraries. Visit jmoreliving.com/travel to learn more about Maryland's scenic byways, the state's ice cream trail, and more. Today's guest, and that's plural, are Kristin Hanna, Director of Special Projects, and returning Matthew Scales, Seafood Marketing Director, both with the Maryland Department of Agriculture's Maryland Best programs, linking Maryland farmers and watermen with consumers. There are numerous programs for Maryland. My mouth is gone today. There are numerous programs for Marylanders and tourists alike that are fun, inclusive, and informative. The state's ice cream trail I just mentioned. Maryland is not lacking when it comes to libations, wineries, breweries, distilleries. Agritourism is a blossoming market. The True Blue program partnering restaurants with local Maryland crab meat. Let's bring in Matthew and Kristin. There they are. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Matthew, welcome back. Kristin, nice to meet you. I'm very saddened because I realize that I have missed the Miss Watermelon contest again this year.
Bummer.
And there's no crown for me. I'm left to pick a watermelon rind. It is always a pleasure to share the wonderful work of the Maryland Department of Agriculture and what they're doing to connect locals and tourists alike with all that Maryland offers. Kristin, can you tell us a bit more about your work with the Maryland Department of Agriculture?
Absolutely. So as the Director of Special Projects, I get to do a little bit of everything. So I work closely with Matthew on the seafood side. I work on the agriculture side. We have tons of other programs, including something like the Spotted Lanternfly program that we have. We have pesticides, we have forest management. So get to touch a little bit of everything in the marketing realm, which is really fun because I've learned so much about agriculture in the last 2 years and seafood. It's two really huge buckets that cover a lot of things. So it's really gotten me to learn more about what Maryland has to offer. And I love being able to support the farmers and watermen here.
Absolutely. And Matt, even though you were on last year, why don't you update everybody on what your responsibilities are at Maryland's Best?
Yeah, Dara, thanks for having me back. It's great to be back on the show. I'm the Seafood Marketing Director for the Maryland Department of Agriculture, and coming up on my 2-year anniversary. Can't believe it's been 2 years, but every day I'm still learning something new about the seafood industry. Also working with very talented colleagues such as Kristin and other colleagues that I have here. Learning about other parts of agriculture too is always interesting. So really, at the end of the day, our goal is to get folks more aware of eating local. Where's your food coming from? Why supporting local is important. We're keeping the money in the state and the local economy, which is really important right now. And also, it just tastes better. So we'll talk a little bit about that with each program as we go through the show.
If you see me doing this, there's some sort of zitsy fly around here and driving me crazy.
I thought you were telling me to wrap it up. I was like, okay.
No. It's a little pest here. I'm telling you, it's coming for me. It's coming. So let's talk, since we're on crabs, the Maryland crabs and the True Blue program, Matthew. And that's been going on for a couple years. And fill us in, and Kristin, whatever he might forget, you pop in and fill in afterwards. Go
Yeah,
for
she's
it, Matt.
always she's always reminding me of things. So I'm glad to have her on this call with me. Yeah, True Blue program has been for a while. I want to say almost a decade now. This seafood marketing program used to be under the Department of Natural Resources, and then it switched over here to MDA. But the program was birthed or born when this program was under DNR. So almost a decade now. We have about 53 restaurants and retailers that are True Blue certified. And what that means is when you see the True Blue logo on a seafood case or a decal in a restaurant, that means that restaurant, that retailer is serving 75% or more of Maryland lump crab meat. A big thing right now is 90%, roughly 90% or more of restaurants in the state of Maryland are using imported crab meat. And this effort is really to get more of those to support those local jobs because at the end of the day, we want to make sure our commercial watermen are getting a profitable wage and they're
Right.
putting food on the table. We are crab processors, our seafood processors. So we want to make sure we're supporting local. Plus, Maryland crab meat tastes so much better. I'm very biased because I'm born and raised in Maryland, but also I work for the Maryland Department of Ag, but our crab meat is sweeter, I think, than you if you compare it somewhere else, even domestically, I think too. So really support True Blue. We actually brand new this year. We are in Camden Yards at the Baltimore Orioles. So the Baltimore Seafood House is True Blue certified. They actually ring a bell, say, we got another True Blue when you order crab cake when you're down at the yard. So next time you go to
Right.
the Orioles game, make sure you go get a crab cake.
Absolutely. Kristin, we spoke earlier, Moore in their magazine for June and July, or was it July and August? I don't know which issue it was for, but it was Maryland Travel. And there was a nice feature, which I have here, called One Fell Scoop about the Maryland Ice Cream Trail. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so the Maryland's Best Ice Cream Trail is focused on farm creameries. So we're celebrating our 13th year, and we actually have 14 creameries this year. So 3 of them are new. So we're excited to kind of see the expansion of the trail. It's been a rough couple decades for dairy farms. It's not, it's a hard business to be into. So we know that those numbers are shrinking. And so being a part of the ice cream trail gives them another shot at making additional dollars by having a creamery on the farm. And so we wanted to promote people not only getting delicious ice cream, but also going out and being on a farm, really connecting to where your food comes from. So many people are so distant from their food, especially children, in cities. All they see is that the food shows up at their house. Some don't even go to grocery stores anymore because we have Instacart and we have other ways to get groceries. So we really want to drive the idea of learning that farms are here. They're actually not that far away from you, and they're making delicious products. And all of our ice cream farms are also selling milk or cheese or yogurt. So there's other products when you go there that you can experience as well. And nothing's better really than that full fat, delicious dairy. And we know that those nutrients in there are good for you.
Right. And I think for the kids, I know a lot of these creameries, they can tour and see the cows. So it's a nice day out for the family.
Yeah,
And
there's more to do than just eat ice cream. We also have a hiking element that is tied into the trail. So every creamery also has been paired with a state park through our partnership with the Department of Natural Resources. So not only can you go visit the creamery, you can also do a family-friendly hike either before or after. So you can either get a reward after, or you can motivate yourself and get your ice cream first.
Right. This one's open to either one of you. We just finished Eat Like a Marylander. My mouth is really screwed up today. Eat Like a Marylander program, and it was finished with Buy Local Week. Jump in and tell folks about that.
Yeah, so Buy Local Challenge and the Buy Local Week was really a joint effort between SMATIC, which is a Southern Maryland agriculture that works on promoting their region, and then us at Maryland's Best, which focuses on the entire state. And we joined forces to remind people about all the products from seafood to dairy to produce to meat, eggs, and everything in between. And we challenge people to try to buy one local item per day for 10 days straight. And so we have a list of recipes, we have a list of farmers markets, farm stands, even retailers that are offering local products. We have a list of that.
And I'll just add too, like, for Eat Like a Marylander, if you go on our website, marylandsbest.net, you can see a list of restaurants that are actually serving local as well. So the next date night or the next time out with your family or friends, make it a point at least once a week or, once every other week to go out to one of these restaurants. These are the restaurants that are making an effort to support local farmers and local watermen. And we want to make sure we support them as well. So, yeah, it's great things out there. The food tastes great. Like I mentioned earlier with the True Blue, one thing I forgot to mention is our crab quality assurance program. Kristen reminded me with, where our food comes from and what we're consuming. The crab quality assurance program is a program that we invest in at the state of Maryland, where we are testing crab meat. So we're paying for testing for Listeria and E. coli and the Arabic count in the crab meat to make sure it's a superior quality product compared to the imported products. So that way, when you're eating crab, you can be assured that, okay, this was tested and it's relatively safe for me to eat and consume.
Terrific. The let's see, going back to seafood, Matthew, August is sort of the oyster month, and isn't there an oyster week celebration coming up?
So there used to be an Oyster Week. August 5th is National Oyster Day, and there used to be an Oyster Week where we would partner with Oyster Recovery Partnership, where if folks don't know, ORP, Oyster Recovery Partnership, does a great job where they have a shell recycling program. So there's a number of participating restaurants that collect those shells, and then they sell them back to ORP. They clean them. I actually toured Horn Point Laboratory yesterday to see the whole process. My first time there. It's a really cool place to go and visit. They put the spat on shell and they replant them. So we did some with them last year in August. We decided to shift it to Chesapeake Oyster Week, which will be in March. Because it's coming off the wild caught season, which, when oysters, people think, oh, I can only get oysters in the R month, that's when wild caught oyster season is. But we like to say in Maryland, we have oysters year round because we have a number of great oyster farmers in the state of Maryland. So whether it's wild caught or oyster farm raised oysters, you're getting a great product no matter what. So look back in March, it'll be Chesapeake Oyster Week.
I mentioned in my intro that Maryland is not lacking for libations. We have wineries, we have breweries, we have distilleries, and just to remind people, it's Maryland's best.net.
Correct.
Okay. And Facebook, it's MDS Best AG. Instagram is MDSBEST. Folks, all of that, all the links will come up in the comments section and you can connect that way. But let's talk about the growth of the distilleries, the wineries, the breweries, and what's going on in Maryland and what is going on with the Department of Ag with them.
Yeah, so we have over 130 licensed breweries right now, over 110 wineries, and just around 35 distilleries in the state of Maryland. And it's really great to see that these are really becoming community centers for a lot of people. The tasting room has really become a great place for people to gather, to try these products, and spend time with friends and family. And so a lot of our wineries especially are on farm or are using grapes from Maryland. So in order to be designated as a Maryland wine on your label, you have to be using 75% or more Maryland grapes. And so 96 of the 110 fit that definition, which is really exciting to see. So I think it's become so popular just because it's beautiful too, right? When you get to see the actual vines that are growing and the grapes that are there and the landscape. It's just a really nice, relaxing. I always feel like I take a deep breath when I get on a farm because I feel like it's got something calming to it. You're really getting back more closer to nature, really. And same with breweries. The breweries that are, on farm have beautiful settings and just a place to relax and connect with people. Maybe even put the cell phones away for a little while, which I think more and more people are trying to be cognizant of that when they are spending time with friends and family. So it's really exciting to see all of that coming to fruition, and that a lot of our facilities are trying to use more local product. We actually just had a Maryland's Best cocktail competition, and the base ingredient needed to have at least 50% Maryland grain in there. And so it was really fun to see the cocktails that people come up with and really highlight those people who are making an effort to use not just, being based in Maryland, but actually using Maryland ingredients as well.
And I'll just add just a note to that too. We try to combine a lot of different parts of agriculture into campaigns. So Kristin and I, when we're both relatively new, well, 2 years, both of us. And so our first year here, we thought of a campaign during February, where it always highlights the brewery industry in the state of Maryland, but highlighting oysters as well. So we came up with Shuck and Stout, which is highlighting restaurants that are serving Maryland oysters and Maryland, if they're serving Maryland farm beer, or if they're using an ingredient grown in Maryland in their beer. So for the first year, we had 25 restaurants that were involved with that. And so there will be a new program coming out in 2026, probably incorporating more libations, TBD, but really looking to, again, just incorporate how can we leverage and really rise all ships. So.
It was funny. I was going to ask, what are the new programs coming up for 2026? So there we are on one of them. And wasn't there, I think, isn't it the Department of Agriculture that's involved with the cooking contest with the governor? Wasn't that just recently?
Yeah. We just had the governor's Buy Local cookout in July, just 2 weeks ago. It was amazing. We had 11 chefs from 10 different counties representing 35 different farms this year, who competed to make the best locally inspired dish. And it wound up being Fadley's Seafood out of Baltimore City with a blue catfish slider that won this year. But everything, honestly, that we had was so amazing. It's really inspiring to see what these chefs can come up with, and highlighting, they don't have to be complicated. We actually have a cookbook that you can find at marylandsbest.net of all those dishes that were featured, so you can make them at home. And one of the ways that we select them is making sure that they're approachable recipes. We know that there's chefs out there that can make these really fancy, complicated things, and those are delicious too, but we want to make recipes that inspire people to actually try them at home. So really cool resource, and I highly recommend checking it out.
And I will just add too, which I missed it because I was on vacation, but you have some award-winning chefs that are part of this. Chef Peter Chang, Chef Matt Lego with Leo Annapolis, right? These folks have won awards and just really creating some cool dishes using local products. So yeah, definitely check that cookbook out.
Right, and it's available. You can go online. You got the information where to check it out. Agrotourism. This is a growing segment. Yeah. And when we say that, many people who've traveled to Italy, there's so many places and farms that you stay, and you stay at the farm. You can work on the farm, or you can have a pool there, but it's, I can't say it in Italian because I can't even say Maryland today. So we'll just say agrotourism, translate to Italian. So I was looking through some that do have inns. Let's see, there's Mary's Land Farm in Ellicott City that has an inn, and then there's Fingerbed Farm Market in Idgenville that has an inn. And from what I can read, they house a number of people, so it's great for like family reunions and coming in and you can cook. And I believe Mary's Land Farm, they do have scheduled cooking classes that you can do there. So go to the website and look up the agritourism, and you can see all the different links or farms or places. The kids can come out on a tour and they can see how things are grown. So check out the site. Anything else? I mean, I just went on about agritourism. I'm sure you probably have a note or two about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to agritourism. It really represents a lot. I just want to reiterate that it gives farms a chance to be profitable. And that's so important in this day and age, because as farming becomes more challenging and it's, it's hard work, it's physical labor, the next generation is seeing their parents, their grandparents really struggling, and there needs to be something that keeps them there. And I think agritourism has really helped some of the next generation say, I want to stay on the farm because I'm seeing the opportunities. And so it can be anything from farm stays to pumpkin patches, hay rides, petting farms, mazes, tours, parties, hosting birthday parties. There's so many ways that people can expand on this, and so many ways that now consumers can interact with farms. I think one of the biggest ones that has really taken off in the Maryland area is the fall festivals. I think, being able to pick up your pumpkin, eating some fresh apple cider donuts, a lot of them have the corn mazes and the hay rides and activities for your children to do. So you can wind up spending the whole day really enjoying the farm and really getting outside and having a fun family-friendly activity. I know that some of them even have fire pits now so that you could extend it into the night, which is really awesome. And it's definitely growing. It's something that I think needs more studies to be done on it. The most recent study we have is from 2017, but just to show you that even at that point, it was growing. There was an assessment by Beacon out of Salisbury University, and they found that there was close to 74,000 jobs that the industry was supporting and had a total economic impact of over $20.6 billion annually to the state's economy. So, I mean, it's exciting to see that that's having an effect for all of us, but we know in turn that then that is allowing farms to kind of go on their multi-generational, handing it down to the next kid.
And have another income coming in to support the farm. Absolutely. Correct. All right, Matt, I haven't forgotten about you. Let's talk catfish. What's going on with them now?
Oh yes, my favorite topic. Wild caught Chesapeake blue catfish. So people hear catfish and they think, oh, bottom feeders. It's muddy tasting. Even after 2 years of being here and doing media and PR and marketing and in event samplings at events, I'm still getting, what is blue catfish? And so, in case you haven't heard, and any of the listeners, blue catfish is a non-native species in the Chesapeake Bay who was brought here in the 1970s, actually in the James River in Virginia, as a trophy fish. Well, decades later, spawned out of control, and now it's eating our beloved blue crabs, and it's eating white perch, and it's eating striped bass eggs, and all this other stuff, and it's wreaking havoc on the bay. So we need to eat more of it. We are working with chefs. We are working with institutions to get more blue catfish on restaurant menus, to get it in schools, in prison systems, really get it out there because we want more blue catfish to be caught. I will also say, because I'm talking about it and it's coming up soon, on September 5th at the Maryland State Fair, we will be having a the Battle of the Bay, Chesapeake Bay Blue Catfish Chow Down. So thank Nathan's hot dog eating contest on the 4th of July with Joey Chestnut. That same company who does that event is going to be here at the Maryland State Fair, and they have professional eaters that are going to be eating blue catfish for prize money. So definitely something to check out. Come out to the Maryland State Fair on September 5th.
I hope they have big appetite. We got to get rid of a lot of catfish.
I know, yes.
Yeah. Wasn't there something, was it the Pride ship?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
So We worked with the Pride of Baltimore too, and JJ McDonnell was one that supplied the blue catfish. They're one of our 4 USDA blue catfish suppliers, and the blue catfish is the only fish that is USDA inspected. Every other fish is FDA, so it's the only one that is USDA, and we have 4 in the state of Maryland. There are 4 in Virginia. But yes, JJ McDonough was one, and the Pride of Baltimore, they did a couple videos about them cooking blue catfish. And hey, yeah, what better way to eat blue catfish while you're on the water, sailing up down the bay in the Great Lakes?
Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, I'm happy they're eating it, but I hope they have a choice of something else as well.
Well, and I will say
Maybe
it's
steamed
also
crabs.
steamed crabs, yeah. I will say the blue catfish also is very nutritious. It's high in omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, potassium, and it tastes great. So a lot of chefs compare it to striped bass. It's a white, flaky meat. So if you're questioning it still, like, I don't know, you should get it. Just try it. You can grill it, fry it, bake it. There's a number of different ways you can prepare it. On marylandsbest.net, we have a list of restaurants and retailers that are selling blue catfish.
Let's see. I'm going down my list. We talked about one of the things that is coming up for 2026. Is there anything else we should know about?
Well, we definitely will be bringing back the ice cream trail. This was also the first year we launched a new app, so you could check into all the locations. So, year one, you're always kind of figuring things out. And so I'm sure we will have improvements for year 2 with the ice cream trail. And we'll have a brand new summer campaign. So we've done Eat Like a Marylander. We're currently still kind of wrapping that up. This is our 2nd year. We'll actually be launching a new logo for the program next year. And so we'll have a brand new campaign to kind of just, again, encourage people to learn more about where to find local food and where to buy it. So,
and also to share the information, because it helps tourism when you have something like the ice cream trail. Virginia has an oyster trail.
Yes.
And people they make it a goal to try to hit all these points.
Yeah.
So the oyster trail probably is not as fattening as the ice cream trail, but the ice cream trail, how can you turn it down? Fresh dairy ice cream.
I will say too, Maryland, so the Maryland Office of Tourism does have a crab and oyster trail to go by too. So with that one, some of them are serving local Maryland products. Some of them I don't think they are, but that trail is just if you want to get crab or oyster, you can go in the Maryland Crab and Oyster Trail.
Okay. All right. So wrapping up, I'm going to throw it out to both of you. What didn't I ask you that I probably should have?
Man, I feel like we covered a lot of topics. I think I'll just add that we also have National Farmers Market Week starting this Sunday. So if you're not already shopping at a market, this is the week to check it out. Again, by going to our website, you can type in your zip code or your county, and it'll show you the ones that are close to you. It's also Maryland Farmers Market Week as well. So we do a lot of celebration. We're actually ending the week on the 10th at the Berlin Farmers Market, and we'll be having a chef cooking competition. So everyone's welcome to come out and see that. That's from 9 to 1 on August 10th.
And then I will share October is National Seafood Month. So it's a perfect time to indulge in Maryland's finest seafood, as we mentioned, from wild caught blue catfish to fresh oysters, blue crab, black sea bass, and more. We think about the bay a lot of all the species we have in there, but we also have a whole ocean off the coast of us in the Atlantic Ocean with a whole bunch of different delicious species, from flounder, red drum, tilefish. I just learned about tilefish 6 months ago, and I think Kristin tried it at an event, and a couple other colleagues have tried it and said it was delicious. So there's all these other different species that you can get out there. And so I encourage folks to go out there. Black sea bass you can get at Jimmy's Famous Seafood and some other restaurants. I'm sure as tilefish as well. And just get out there and explore and support local.
Okay, everyone. That's Kristin Hanna, Matthew Scales with Maryland's Best.net. And I want to thank you both. And please send me a reminder about the Watermelon Queen contest.
We certainly will.
Okay.
Thank you, Dara.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Next week's guest, I have a really big intro here. So, next week's guest is world renowned pastry chef In-Ming Zhu, whose accomplishments are numerous as they are impressive. A graduate of the Culinary Institute of America, In-Ming's career began in the kitchens of the famed La Panisse restaurant in New York City. In-Ming served as team captain of the first and only U.S. pastry team to capture the gold medal at the Coupe du Monde de la Pâtisserie in Lyon, France. She has returned to Coupe du Monde to serve as president of the international jury president, and manager of the Team USA, and a guest commentator. In-Ming was named Pastry Chef of the Year for winning the gold medal at the 8th Annual U.S. Pastry Competition. Other awards include Rising Star Chef of 1999 from James Beard Foundation, one of the top 10 pastry chefs in America by both Chocolatier and Pastry Arts and Design magazines, and Lifetime Achievement Award by Paris Gourmet. Still more. Her accolades go on and on. Most recently, In-Ming introduced Zip Extraordinary Drinking Chocolate, a multi-purpose powdered mix for both consumer and food service. It is a minority-owned small business with her sister. All right. I want you to feel free to reach out to me via my email at food@jmoreliving or Instagram at Dara Cooks, or on Facebook, there is a page, The Food Enthusiast. You can sign up for jmoreliving.com. You can sign up at jmoreliving.com for the free bi-monthly This Week in Baltimore Eating newsletter, recipes, local food news, and videos from the Food Enthusiast. Click on the Connect button in the header on the website to sign up. All our shows are immediately archived in video form on Jmore Living's Facebook page, Jmore Living, and YouTube. We truly appreciate when you share our show with friends and family, and we do appreciate it when you go back into the archives and find some of the great interviews that we've had. And for that, there's always something to watch or listen to. Thank you for joining us. Hope to see you next Thursday. We'll be back to our normal time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern Time, for next week's interview. Please join us, and may your plates always, always remain full.